Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I was actually going to go charge my car over at the charger over there, but there's actually 3 people charging right now, and the 4th stall is actually broke, so I'm sitting here waiting. So I figured I'd do an impromptu video about what happened to brick my Charger Daytona. I know a lot of you guys watch the live streams. Obviously, if you watch the live streams, you heard me talk about it. But there's been quite a few people who have wrote to me saying, hey, you didn't do a video on it, and I technically did. I just did it in a live stream. So basically, I'll go through what really happened with my Charger. Again, I don't know all the details. They're kind of vague. But what I can tell you is you can watch the whole ordeal of the car bricking in another video where I had to deal with 5 different tow trucks to come get it over 2 days. But the car's back. I've put 100 miles on it. I got it last week. It was only at the dealer for 3 days. And, you know, it drives fine. It drives just like it did before. The only thing I can say is I know it had an over-the-air update. First of all, a lot of people on the different Facebook pages and stuff said, hey, the car's got an over-the-air update last night. I went out to mine. The first thing I can tell you is I charged it to 100% the night before. I drove it home. It was at 99% when I pulled it in the driveway. And when I came out, it was at 97%. And the video will show you that it's at 97%. When I let this car sit this past week, basically I didn't touch it for almost 5 days. 3 of those days it took to lower it 1%. So if there's an over-the-air update, usually you can tell that there's some kind of battery drain. So again, the car's hooked up to the Wi-Fi at my house. So all I have to do is pull it in the driveway, and if there's an over-the-air update, it just does it. Now, the very interesting thing was it used to tell us when an over-the-air update would happen. However, since the last, I don't know, 3, 4 over-the-air updates, because this car gets over-the-air updates quite a bit, it hasn't said nothing. But you can usually tell because of the battery draw if something happens. With that being said, when they got it at the dealer, they basically said that there was no power to the car at all. Now, it's very interesting because what I was told from a couple of Mopar mechanics is that basically the car has like 40 some modules, okay? Or so, I don't know how many exactly, but what they were telling me is that if one of the modules doesn't basically like what it sees, it basically shuts down. The problem is with the software on this car, because what happens is the software basically, instead of isolating that one issue, it lets it go through and find faults with every issue or every module and then shuts everything down. That's what causes it to brick. So hopefully Stellantis can figure that out and isolate the problems so you don't have your car bricking on you. But nonetheless, that's supposedly what happened. When they got it at the dealership, again, it was dropped off on Saturday evening. Sunday they're closed. Monday they actually called me in the afternoon. The service advisor basically called me and said, hey, what's wrong with your car? I found it. What's wrong with it? Now you got to remember, I picked that dealer because they do a lot of EVs. Every time I go over there, there's tons of them. They're in the backyard of CTC. I bought a car from them before, and I'm not thrilled with their service department, but I knew that they would have all the parts on hand, and that's the reason why I got it back in 3 days rather than a week. So I basically told them, hey, when it started up, it doesn't make the clap of thunder sound anymore, and all the warning lights come on. I said, it's bricked. It doesn't move. So they put on the thing that apparently I said that it doesn't make any sounds and that, it doesn't have any power to it. So what they basically what they said in the documents was that the first thing was they actually had to put a jump pack to it, and they did it under the frunk so they could get access to the hatch as well. And then what happened is they actually had to push it. Even with the jump pack on it, it still wouldn't power up. There was no lights on at all. So unfortunately, who knows? So they ended up having a whole bunch of people push it into the bay. At that point, they got into the hatch. They checked the actual 12-volt battery. They did a GR8 test, which is Stellantis' test to see if the battery is good or bad. It failed. What they said was the 12-volt battery, basically the car had no power at all. So they put a new battery in it, and what they found out was the lights were flicking on and off, but the car wouldn't turn on. So that's, again, a different situation than what I had. Now, what they ended up doing was they ended up popping the hatch. They went through and pulled out basically a bunch of stuff out of the trunk, and there's a fuse panel underneath where like the spare tire kit stuff is. Anyways, what they found out was there was a loose ground wire. And again, I never experienced flickering. I never experienced anything with the car. It just bricked. So they fixed that. But again, with the update, who knows if it's coincidence or not. So it's just kind of one of those weird issues where I don't think I'll ever really know the actual answer of what happened to it. But nonetheless, they put a new 12-volt battery in it and fixed the ground wire, and it ran fine. Started up. They drove it for 3 days. I don't think they did, because I seen them driving it the one day to wash it before I came to pick it up, and there was like 1 mile on the car. But nonetheless, I haven't had any issues. It runs fine. Back to how it was before. But the interesting thing is I told them, hey, there's a bunch of, TSBs or, recalls that are open for the car. I haven't had it done since I got it in May. And I think there was an RSU as well. They did check to see if my speaker system was not on stealth mode, but on dry theme, so that the speakers would work so you could hear the sound, which it does. They also cleared all the codes. And I don't know what they did. I don't know. I've heard a lot of things that if you replace the 12-volt battery, if you're having like keyless entry problems, if you replace the 12-volt battery, it fixes that. Well, apparently it does. I don't know. But my keyless entry, which wasn't working for the longest time, now works on the car. So now I can actually go up, and before I literally had to get the key out and point it at the front of the car, like right next to that B logo for it to work. I couldn't point it at the back or anything, but now everything works. And it works fine. So again, I don't necessarily know how true that is, but it seems like a lot of people, once they have their 12-volt battery pack replaced, that all of a sudden their keyless entry starts working again. So that's good. The only thing I can complain about this car right now is that the auto screen and the wet and snow mode screen do not have any graphics still. I don't know what the heck the cause of that was. The custom screen looks like how the auto screen was supposed to. The other night, I'll show you a video. I actually did a factory reset of the car. So basically I erased the phone contacts, everything, and put it back into like where the dealer would have got it. And I figured maybe that would help. I heard a technician tell me, like, try it. Didn't help. The graphics are still gone. So really, that's really the only problem I have with the car right now. Everything else is perfect. It's driving great. Not an issue whatsoever other than the graphics on the screen. So again, it's kind of weird. For every time they fix something on this car, something else kind of goes weird with it. I don't know. It's like 10 things get fixed, one thing goes weird. But again, drives great. Since I got it, throttle response is way better. The upgrades the over-the-air updates just keep helping this car. It keeps getting better and better. And the very interesting thing about it is, they keep adding things to it. On top of that, throttle response keeps getting better, and the range is getting better. So me living in the busy city like I do, down here in the suburbs of Metro Detroit, I can actually sometimes regen more than what I lose. So my range isn't 241 unless I get on the highway. If I get on the highway, it's 241. If I get in the normal city here, I get somewhere between 275 to 310, just depending on how easy I am on the car. Usually during my normal driving style, I get about 270, 275. So again, it's not terrible range for what this car was supposedly being able to do. If you do put it in eco mode, I do notice that you get about 10 more miles out of the range. But yeah, I mean, it's not like stellar difference, but you can get 10 more miles out of this car. But again, no problems with the car whatsoever. It still drives excellent. Again, if I had to lease this thing again, I probably would. The only thing that bums me out is EV infrastructure. Again, like somebody just pulled out, and because I was over here shooting a video, I missed my thing, but there's another spot over there which I'm gonna go get. But it's just like having to deal with waiting for, fast chargers, the chargers not being reliable. This one's usually 99% reliable. For some reason, the one side's just not working today. But again, it's a whole different learning experience. The cars, they're a premium cost. This car was, it was almost $80,000. It was $79,690 on the sticker. I didn't pay for that. I leased it. But if you actually look at these cars, for an $80,000 car, for an EV, you're paying more. Your registration's more. Your insurance is more. If you fast charge it, it's just as expensive as a gasoline car. So I mean, those are the aspects that I look at that really kind of outweigh would I get another EV? But as for performance and stuff, the car is awesome. I can't complain at all. I think Dodge did a really good job with this car. They keep updating it, and it gets better and better. I just think they need to relaunch the car and actually show people how much better it's gotten. You know, of course, I kind of expected it to brick. I mean, everybody's gone through the experience, and I kind of wanted to go through the experience because I wanted to, when I write about something, I wanted to be able to, you know, kind of connect with the people that have had these issues. And again, the dealership I picked, not the best dealership by any means, but because they do so many EVs, they had parts in stock, and I got the car back in 3 days. Customer service-wise at the dealer, it's lackluster. I find that if I go to like smaller dealers, I have better customer service. So again, that's part of the whole package when you get with Stellantis. Stellantis, I understand, is really hard on their dealers with, you know, their technician hours and all that stuff, you know, labor hours and stuff, what they're going to pay. But the dealers, there's no reason why you can't get good customer service at especially a big volume dealer. You know, I understand I'm a number there, and they have a lot of work, but they also have like 12, 15 service advisors. So there's no reason why they can't offer good customer service. But anyways, happy the car's back. It's doing well. And now I'm going to go charge it. But stay tuned. There's going to be a lot more on this car coming up, especially now that the weather's starting to change in fall. Hopefully soon we'll be able to test it out in winter and show you how it works with all-wheel drive and stuff in the winter, especially the Michigan snow. So stay tuned. See you guys in the next video. Bye.